So this is about the Sacramento Kings, and this is gonna be a rant. So just buckle up. Let's get right into it. Mike Brown got fired. I'm gonna take off my glasses for this one, folks. Mike Brown got fired. And here's the thing. I'm gonna lay into the owner about this. The owner for the Sacramento Kings malpractice. But before we get to that, I have a message. This is gonna be directly to De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox, you got your head coach fired. De'Aaron Fox, you got your head coach fired. Here's why. I do not watch a lot of Sacramento Kings games. I'm going to preface that right now. I live in the East Coast, so I don't get to see a lot of Kings games. In fact, because, and this year is really important, 2006. Remember 2006, because it's going to be very important in a second. A lot of people, not just me, a lot of people outside the city of Sacramento. So even people in California, the people outside don't except the people inside Sacramento get to watch Sacramento Kings basketball because 2006. You may be asking, what happened in 2006? 2006 is the last time the Sacramento Kings made a playoff appearance before Mike Brown got there. 2006 signifies the last time we knew a world without touchscreen iPhones or touchscreen technology that can fit in your pocket. 2006 the last time the BlackBerry was relevant. 2006 is the last time Codename Kids Next Door was the most popular cartoon on Cartoon Network. De'Aaron Fox, the little I've seen you play basketball, I see a lot of highlights, I see a lot of breakdown analysis videos, there's plenty of really great YouTubers who do it, stuff like that, right? From what I've seen, De'Aaron Fox has a character issue when it comes to basketball. If nothing else, the leadership that he's displayed this season and last season has been, quite frankly, shit. The reason why Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors was able to come in your trap, take over your trap, drop 50 in that game, at Game 7 on your court, light your beam, and walk out, was on your head. He did it on your watch, on your home court, sent you packing. Steph Curry signed you. He did that to you and signed you under to his brand. You don't have De'Aaron Fox sneakers. You have De'Aaron Fox sneakers of the Curry brand of Under Armour. Now, as a sneaker, nonetheless, congrats to you. Outside of that, my boy, you're questionable. You're questionable. And that press conference that you gave last night was questionable. You were asked a direct question of what the hell were you doing defensively? That you let the Pistons walk into your stadium, shoot a game-winning shot on your head. The highest paid player on this team, the leader, the voice of this team. You let the Detroit Pistons come and do that shit to you and walk out. And you got asked, what the hell were you doing? And you talking about it's not going to matter. Well, yes, it does matter because you got a good man fired today. That's what you did. You got a good man fired today. And it wasn't just because of last night. You lack taking accountability. If you do it in private, it doesn't matter as much because in public, when your coach tries to hold you accountable, and you can't even do that publicly. I don't know if because you just don't give a shit. I don't know if it's because your PR or your management people or whoever's telling you to protect the Fox brand. I don't know. You already got your money. You get money to hoop. You don't get money to have game winners on your head against the Detroit Pistons on your home court. Get your shit together, man. Mike Brown is the best head coach for this organization since 2006, man. Mike Brown won Coach of the Year a calendar year ago. He is still, he just got a contract extension. He's on the books. He's going to get paid by the Sacramento Kings to go work somewhere else. De'Aaron Fox, questionable. DeMar DeRozan deserves a whole video. I'm not even going to give DeMar DeRozan a time of day in this video because Jesus Christ, bro. I'm not even getting into that. De'Aaron Fox has a lot of issues on the court. I'm speaking specifically on the court in the pressers. I'm not liking what I'm seeing. He got good man fired. And personally, to me, this is the same situation with McMillan and Trae Young. De'Aaron Fox, to me, is a very talented basketball player, but he is not Trae Young. Trae Young got McMillan fired, no doubt. Young's got his head coach fired as well, no doubt. But unlike De'Aaron Fox, those players take accountability, and those players get better, and those players lead their team. Trae Young led his team to beat a 76ers squad with Joel Embiid and prime Ben Simmons. Giannis won a championship. So that's just, and MVPs. What do we... De'Aaron Fox has done nothing in this league besides make a playoff appearance when, again, he lets the person who is the leader of the brand that he wears on his feet come into his stadium, drop 50 on his head, light the beam, and walk out. That's who De'Aaron Fox is right now. And I'm a huge De'Aaron Fox fan. I really am. I think he's an incredibly talented basketball player. I think he's one of the fastest and quickest basketball players in the NBA today. And I think that a backcourt with him and Tyrese Haliburton would have been magical. I think he should have multiple all-star appearances. That's how highly I regard the skill set of De'Aaron Fox. But what he's shown, for whatever reason, it could be some shit that we don't know between him and Mike Brown. I don't know. All I know is that Mike Brown's gone now. The best head coach you could possibly have in the league right now is gone. Your last days go attitude is going to get a lot more people fired. That's all I have to say about De'Aaron Fox. Now to the ownership. Malpractice. There's no unemployed head coach right now that is better than Mike Brown. Mike Brown is the best coach available right now. And in my opinion, if the Washington Wizards, and I really hate to say this, what I'm about to say, I really don't like to say something like this, but this is just how I feel, truly how I feel. If the Washington Wizards do not call their head coach in and say, look, man, you're not going to be here next season. Because we have the worst team in the league. We could get a new stadium. There's so much bright future, but we need to actually start building up a team right now. Your ass is gone. You're not good enough. Mike Brown's available. I know Jordan Poole loves Mike Brown. Mike Brown, I know, loves Jordan Poole. They won a championship together. Jordan Poole is playing out of his mind despite this really shitty team. We have an amazing young core. We just need proper coaching. And who to better develop Jordan Poole into the player that he should have been for Golden State? Onto this Wizards team that desperately needs something good to happen for that and the city than Mike Brown. I would give Mike Brown a blank check to come to my team. Guess what? You don't even have to do that because the Sacramento Kings owe that man money plus an extension. So I would say, thank you, Sacramento. And I will go give me Mike Brown. And Mike Brown will be in Washington, D.C. today. If I was the owner and part of the ownership group for the Washington Wizards, Mike Brown would be in my office today. And I would say, how much and how high do you want me to jump for you? Because I want winning basketball back in Washington, D.C., and you're the head coach that's going to get us that. Because you turned in abysmal. The Washington Wizards haven't even been as bad as the Sacramento Kings. You made an abysmal team that hasn't even sniffed the playoffs since 2006 to a playoff push immediately. Immediately you did that. That's what I need for my Wizards squad. Mike Brown would be hired today. I don't give a fuck. Sorry, excuse my language, but I wouldn't care. I would not care. Mike Brown would be employed today. Today. The Kings ownership. This is one of those things where the NBA has to jump in. I feel like I say this in a jokingly rant way, but it's just like, bro, how can you be this bad at owning a team? It's getting to the point where we could start seeing a decline in single ownership team. It's going to start being collective. It's going to start being a group. Because, like, yo, if these billionaires can't get it done, let's get a couple of multimillionaires together that can equate these billionaires, own these teams, and get going. Because some of these small market teams, man, don't deserve this. Because these, we're small market, we can't compete. No, your owner makes just as much as some of these other guys. I'm not comparing this Steve Ballmer, some of these big. No, there's some owners who have big bank. They got a B next to their name. But they refuse to spend the money and to care to build a winning team and organization. They don't care about you. I'm talking to the fans of Sacramento. This owner does not care about winning. He doesn't care about establishing a culture, and he does not care about you. He wants your money, and he's going to get it because he can parade De'Aaron Fox around and his fourth quarter shambling ass around and parade him around and get y'all to spend the money, get y'all to buy into that line the beam gimmick when you have teams constantly coming into your building and beating your ass and lining that beam in front of you. You constantly have the NBA playing in your face about Sabonis. Sabonis should be a multi-all-star decorated player at this point, and the NBA does not care. The NBA couldn't care less about Sacramento Kings. They could not care less. And your owner could care less than that. And he's shown you this over and over again. And it starts with Mike Brown. Mike Brown was one of the best things that happened to this team. And they fired him. He has won 107 games and lost 88 games or so. And that's who they fired. Again, a year ago, calendar-wise, he was the head coach of the year. And they fired him. That's who was fired today. A great man and a great coach who was fired today. And you can see the clips are all over social media. Many head coaches, some themselves really should be worrying about their own jobs. Because really, Mike Brown could probably take one of them jobs next season. Have come out and said, that was a mistake. That was BS. It's wrong. It's a punk move. And a lot of people in that building should be ashamed of themselves. Look what Mike Malone said. Look what Coach Malone of the Denver Nuggets said about Mike Brown. And that should tell you. Look what Steve Kerr said. Look what I forgot his name. His name is escaping me. But the head coach for the Pacers, he came out and said something as well. Many head coaches have said this, and I guarantee, honestly, if we're being honest, I'm sure, I doubt they'll say anything about it, but I'm sure that Steph, Dre, and in Dallas, Klay Thompson would also echo the same sentiment of, what the hell was that? What the hell was that? And the thing about this is, a bunch of people would want De'Aaron Fox on their team. If De'Aaron Fox requested a trade today, the bid would be crazy. It'll be a frenzy. But at the end of the day, De'Aaron Fox, you have some growing up to do when it comes to on the court presence and leadership in terms of where the criticism is going to meet you is in the open, not whatever you do behind the doors of the locker room. What's out in the open. Your body language is terrible. You daydreaming on defense on the last possession is terrible. It's just, what is this? It's a monstrosity what we're watching. And fans pay a lot of good money to watch this really mediocre basketball team play. You're the bright spot of this. You're on all the cups. You're on all the banners. You're on the stadium walls. People look at you, depend on you. People's jobs in that building is on the line. every single time you screw up, someone potentially can get fired. And today was your head coach. Today was your head coach. So that nonchalant bullshit attitude that you want to put on the podium when your coach tries to hold your ass accountable for whatever kind of bullshit attempts you want to put on that last play, the last play of the game, on your head is happened too many times. Not game winners, but just people coming into your stadium and embarrassing your ass. It's a bonus. Keegan Murray, the DeMar DeRozan, a lot of people on that squad should be very ashamed. They should care because Mike Brown was the best thing that was going to happen to that coach, and they will not see success for the next 2-3 decades because the best coach available was fired and will still be on the books. When the next guy comes in, Mike Brown will still be on the books. Terrible ass organization, terrible ass effort, and terrible ass attitude. And they should be ashamed. I'm out. Enough. Malpractice.